Hi everyone, it's late night here in Seattle, and I have nothing better to do but to record another video of myself talking about events in my life. And recently I had another Dear Diary moment that I think it's worth talking about. I was trying to take some notes on my phone, and then I realized I should try to do text to speech. And I was Googling for something that is either free or does what I want to do, and I couldn't find it. And there was some solution that has been pushed by ads from everywhere on me, and I was trying it, but then it didn't work the way I wanted it to work, and then I didn't want to pay another subscription. So then I had this realization that instead of buying software, I can just write my own. After all, I'm a software engineer, right? So I decided to write my own, note-taking app, and of course, like probably 1,000 app that exists already there. But I wanted to build specifically what I really kind of the features that I needed. So I didn't have to like build all the the authentication backend. I wanted to be fully on device. I didn't want to concern with the mobile compatibility, for Android. I didn't want to deal with the old versions and whatnot. All those things I didn't care because I was just building it for myself. And I prepared a prompt, something that took me probably like I don't know 5 minutes to verbalize all the things so that I want to build in the app. And I fired up the one of agentic apps. I don't know, Codex or Code. I don't remember which one. And I started the prompt. I went to the bathroom. I come back, and I had working app. So yeah, of course, I played some more with it. I added some more like features and whatnot, like real-time narration, no real-time transliteration, or how is it called? And yeah, essentially, I was able to build something that out there the businesses exist, and of course they have like a nicely packaged product. The design and the user experience and support and all of that, but it was something the core of the app I was able to build in 5 minutes, and that made me think about of course again, like probably many of us thinking about these days of future of software engineering, and what it means for for the career wise and the industry, what it means for the industry. I'm thinking about all this like big companies that have this, if we're talking specifically about mobile apps that would be fairly trivial to replicate. And like I don't know, the companies that I'm familiar with, Disney, Uber, Amazon, uh, those apps are fairly simple in terms of features, in terms of what user can do with them. And of course, you can say, oh, how could it be? There's like hundreds of people working on those apps. And I would say it's more complexity that was born out of the organizational complexity that reflecting that, rather than the complexity that was necessary there for the successful user experience. And all those all those apps, and apps, and of course backend as well, could be replicated by smaller teams, something that um, doesn't require you like a TPMs, PMs, and all that. You just say, you if you like insider working from inside, you'll basically reverse engineer. You ask agent to, okay, here's the code base, legacy code base, come up with all the use cases that we need to support, or write down like a novel or something, some sort of a huge markdown, and that will describe all the features, all the maybe some architectural constraints that you want to have, some the reliability, scalability, all that stuff, security, of course, and you can have an agent also like reading that markdown file and executing and implementing another version. And you can skip all the complexities what that are purely organizational, and you just keep the complexity that you really need for features to exist. And that's something that um, maybe not doable like today, like March, April 2026, but like literally in a few months, or maybe in a year, I can totally see that it's doable. Um, my point is that what's left? Like, what else for software engineers to do? Because yes, you will need software engineers to kind of guide that thing, um, but you don't need as many, and there will be repercussions for the job market, of course, because sooner or later people realize that they can what I described, they can do it. Like even today, they can start experimenting with that. They can build versions of the app that are kind of reverse engineered by AI, and of course external companies, other companies, kind of competitors, say Uber, competitors that can just replicate the Uber features, and or not necessarily the backend. Even the backend is not that complex. Distributed systems can solve the issue. It's not solved problem. It's not something that will be difficult for agent to replicate. Okay, so what that leave us with? I think okay, the future of software engineering. There will be some software engineers who are actually working on in terms of like training those models, of course. And I remember writing about that some time ago when I just kind of discovered ChatGPT, that that will be probably the thing when you essentially indirectly writing applications by uh, uh, kind of training the model as a software engineer. And that's actually what happens with those companies with reinforcement learning, that they essentially have software engineers kind of training models to do software engineering. So that's what what some software engineers will be doing. Some of us will build like I don't know, like next level software in terms of complexity. Of course, the alignment and all those things that difficult. Like for example, when I say to an agent, build this and this and that, it might not pick up on my intent, what I really need. So a lot of what we'll be building is, obviously manually first, like trying to capture the intent and translate it, explain it to an agent correctly. But the next level of that will be actually making it more automated process, like intent compilers, so to speak, where you basically you cannot verbalize your requirements, but the software is smart enough actually to know what you want. That's another one thing. Another thing will be the whole level of complexity will grow because with software being so easy to implement, people will have more and more software in their lives. Like many people talked about the government being essentially like a bash script could be replaced as a bash script, right? So that will become a true. The possibility will be there. Like essentially, you take the government to reverse engineer it and build all the software like a single soft package or whatever, where the whole government is automated. um, so politicians will be doing the politician thing, just purely entertainment, where the government will be uh, run by the machines, by the software. So you can say like a communism, but indirectly, like in a sense, communism. I don't mean like the in terms of like, but in terms of centralized government doing the implemented by software, not in just not in the all the other aspects of communism. Anyway, so or companies like the companies could be fully redone as in software. So it's not just a company has software for this and that and that. The whole company will be software. You essentially create a company as a software. You you know you task it to extract some value from some process or whatever, or maybe just to go explore market and uh, identify the market niche to exploit, execute, or arbitrage or whatever. So that, yeah, that will be the next level of complexity that um, we will be working on as application level engineers, not the engineers working on the optimizing compilers or maybe machine learning models for AI. Anyway, yeah, we many thoughts on the subject. So especially at late night, and um, well, let me know what you think, dear viewer, and yeah, thank you.